Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Hilltop View Journals, and today what I'm going to be doing is making this very simple and fairly quick ephemera folder. And here are a couple more that I've made along the way as well, using exactly the same techniques. I did record this video as part of the August-September Bee Summer inspired collaboration, but I've decided to upload this separately because it is a little bit long and a bit too lengthy to be part of the collaboration. But I do actually mention it in my collaboration video, and you do have a chance to win this as part of the free giveaway. So the reason why I wanted to make an ephemera folder as part of the collaboration is that I'm part of the design team for RachandBella Crafts, and whenever I get my hands on one of her kits, the first thing I do is I make an ephemera folder. And because I find if I've got the ephemera all, or everything that I've cut out, then my fussy cutting, if I've got it all set out, then it makes life so much easier when you go and make your ephemera and you have all your embellishments together. And also what it helps me to do as well is it focuses my mind, and sometimes when I start a project I do feel quite overwhelmed. And you may be feeling the same if you want to make, say, a gift for someone and you're not really sure where to start. So hopefully I really do hope that you enjoy this tutorial. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and I will do a very quick flip through of these two ephemera holders, because you will see this one a fair bit during the tutorial. And don't forget, please go along and join RachandBella Crafts in the Bee Summer inspired daily posts and videos of the collaboration. There are some absolutely stunning people taking part, and I know that you will enjoy watching those. So let's have a think about what we need to get going. You will basically need about, let's have a look, about 6 to 8 sheets of pages of your choice. Now, in this ephemera folder, I use the background pages from the Sounds of Summer kit. And you don't need them double-sided, although this is double-sided, but for the actual ephemera pages you just need one side. You'll need some decent glue, so you can use something like the Tombow or some tacky glue. I've also used some washi tape, and I've used vellum, a distress oxide pad, and I've also used some packaging paper. So I haven't really used that much. I have sewn, but you really don't have to sew the kit, sew the ephemera folder if you don't want to. And I used a little bit of tea stained fabric there for the spine. Okay, that's pretty much all you need, and I think we can gather our supplies now and get going. Okay, I think I've got everything I need now to make a start on the ephemera pages. Before we do that, let's just have a quick look at what I'm calling my prototype. So we've got this flap on the front, which is sewn in to the spine, and it's got pockets on either side, which, you know, are fairly useful. But what I like about this is that it's really handy to hold larger items. So you can put sort of, I don't know, A5 sheets of paper in there if you're halfway through fussy cutting a sheet of A4 pieces of ephemera. We've then got a cover, which I have made out of card, and I might do something different for that. Only reason being that I find it, I don't know, a bit stiff maybe. And I don't think you need something as heavy as cardstock there, but we'll see how we get on. And I've put a pocket on the main front cover, and then we've just got the ephemera holder pages, and here I have just used sheets of double printed paper, and then I've added the vellum pockets throughout, and I've got a belly band there which we'll do, which is really great. As you can see, I've just got different size pockets. Now I didn't actually find these pockets that useful, and I won't do that in this one because there's very few items that are so tall that I need that pocket, and most of them will fit quite happily in this anyway. So I've got some smaller pockets there, they're really useful. And then what I did here was I put ones in afterwards. You can always add pockets in, and this is the center page, and here I just loosely tied it in a bow so that I could add or remove, take things away. So I found that was useful as well. So as we go through, you know, it's not 100% robust, but this is supposed to be a really quick and easy project and something to get you going. So there's that larger pocket there again, another belly band which I really like, and then that's the back, and then that's pretty much it. So that's what we're going to make now, and we're going to do this in super quick time. So what you need is to make the pages sturdy, you can either use double-sided heavyweight paper, or what I'm going to do is just use, I think this is 120 GSM paper. I don't know what that is in pounds, I'm really sorry, but I'm not too sure. And I'm going to do these back to back. So I have them printed on one side, and the reason why I'm going to do it back to back is that when it's folded, I am going to have a pocket in the top of each one. You don't have to do that, but I think it'll be really handy. And I've printed out the background pages, although that is a main page, but most of these are the background pages from the Sounds of Summer kit. And so they're quite, you know, they're nice and subtle, so they will be perfect for the ephemera folder, because if I return to this one, I use the lovely masterboards that we created on RachandBella Crafts Treat back in, oh gosh, June now. But I actually found them a bit too busy for this purpose, and I would have preferred to have had something a bit more subtle in the background there. So that's why we're going to do this one slightly different. So what this will give you is 3 sheets of paper, but obviously it'll give you 4 sides, so you'll end up with 12 pages of pockets, and then another 2 pages of pockets with the cover if you choose to do that. Okay, let's make a start. With your glue of choice, and bearing in mind that I have decided to use vellum because that's what I've got on hand. Vellum, tracing paper, you can use acetate, you can use normal paper if you don't mind not being able to see through it. But vellum is really handy because you can see what's in the pockets. You could use lace, you could use something like this fabric, organza I think it's called. So that would be useful as well. Whatever you have to hand really, but don't fret, just make it with paper. If you just make the pockets with paper if you haven't got any vellum. You don't need to go out and buy it. Okay, sorry, I just had to adjust the screen there because I'm not sure if I'm always in shot there. Okay, so let's get our 2 pieces of paper. As I was saying, with the glue of choice and with vellum, you may have some puckering. I am going to be sewing the vellum onto the page. You really don't have to, but what I will show you a way to cover any puckering if it bothers you. It doesn't bother me, so you know, if I wasn't sewing, I wouldn't bother to cover it, but some people it will bother, so we will overcome that as well. What you need to do then is, oh, my glue is really gummy. Let me use a different one. That's what you get for not using stainless steel pins, which are mega expensive, so I don't tend to use them. So let's just put a stream of glue, I should say. Something you could use for this is A3 paper, and then you wouldn't have to glue the bottom. And just make sure I got these the right way around. But I don't think many people have got A3 printers. But if you've got A3 paper that's nicely patterned, then you could use that. Let's make some space here. And I think I need a bone folder. Get all that gummy glue out. And I need a wipe or something. Let's have a look. That's our first page. And what you could do then is you could put a notch. And I think I will do that. Yeah. So you go ahead, fold the page, give it a good burnishing, and then guesstimate where the centre is, because we are not going to, well, she says we're not going to measure. It would help if I did that straight. And what you can do then, it's not exactly perfectly straight. As you can see, I've just got a bit there and a bit there. But you know what? I'm going to live with it because this is a quick and easy project. And you can go and ink. And I think I will ink. Yeah, I think I will ink. What should we use? Weathered wood. Let's do this really quickly. I'll speed it up. Okay, so we've got our first page. What we're going to do then is take our vellum, fold it in half, then with your favourite cutting tool, take a slither off, and we are going to pop that around. Now, just to think about whether you're going to sew or not. I'm going to sew. And I will glue all around this, but it's not 100% necessary to glue all around. Because if you're sewing, it'll secure it, but I know some people won't be. Oh, actually, I've forgotten to do something. Oh, crikey, I can't believe the most important bit. Using up your washi tape. I can't believe I forgot to do this. Okay. I've added a washi trim, and that is to strengthen the edge of your vellum pocket because it can rip. And I've got a selection of washi here, and I actually found some that is sea themed, which I thought was cool, but I haven't got much of it. But I thought I'd try and get rid of that because I don't use washi. And one of the reasons why I don't use washi is because it doesn't stick. And we use it to stick, don't we? So I don't get it. I don't get that it doesn't stick. Never understood it. But anyway, this is a great project for using up your washi. So here we go. Just pop that. Now, if you haven't got any washi, then you could use your spare strips of paper, which will work perfectly well for this. They're just a bit more effort in folding. With the washi, because it's nice and thin, it is easy to fold. And one washi tape over and done with. Yes, I love it when I get to use my washi up. One less roll to store. Let's just pop them off. And I've just used the last drop there, which has got no sticky on it whatsoever. So I need to stick that down. Gosh, I nearly forgot the most important thing. I can't believe it. Okay. Let's get back on my page. Okay. As you can see, it's not quite on the edge, but that's okay, because my sewing machine will pick that up. I'm just going to glue very messily. It would be better if you used a precision tip, which I will try and find in a bit, but at the moment I haven't got it to hand. That's that side. And then just pop some glue on this side. Nice and quick. Okay, so that is the outside of the page done. So let's do the inside. And what I'm going to do with the inside is use the other sheet. Do I want to cut it in half? So with the smaller pockets, let me show you this one again. You've got a couple of options. You can either do, and I don't know if I did it in here. Yes, here we are. So here I've used 2 strips. So it would be half of these, would be cut in half and then do the strip. But that's a bit more work, and we're kind of trying to avoid work, aren't we? Because we just want to get this done really quickly. So what I think what I prefer to do is just add some smaller strips at the end, some smaller pockets, I should say. So I'm just going to pop that in there, do the most important bit. So let's use up this washi. Okay, when you fold it, you can see that it does push the vellum out a little bit. So you need to dry it flat. Again, it's curling a little bit there, but I'm not too bothered. But you can see, I don't know, if I show you, is the camera... Probably, the camera's a bit blurred probably, but you can see there's some puckering If that bothers you, then simply just put some washi on the side. You could do that anyway. Let's pop some washi on the side here. I'm not going to bother gluing it because I'm going to sew it. But you can, and this will give it a little bit more strength again. See, there you are, covers the puckering. Job done. And because I've done it the same on both sides, it covers both sides. There's the first set of 4 pages done. I am going to carry on and do exactly the same thing for the other 2 pages. Okay, got my 3 pages. Granted, we're not going to win any awards for being a pretty ephemera folder, but we are just looking for something quick and functional to hold all our goodies that we cut, because I truly believe that once you've got them stored in something, it's far better. It's just far quicker to do your projects, to make your journals, to make your ephemera, when you've got everything together in one little hit. So what I need to do is I need to leave these dry now. And you could put this under some heavy books, particularly if you're not going to go and sew. It would be much better for you. Or clips. Clips would be a good idea, actually. Something like these large, what we call bulldog clips. You know, something like that, just to glue it, to keep it glued down. And then I'm going to go and sew around there and around there and around there. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do the middle. I'll see how it looks before I sew the middle, and you can join me over in the sewing machine. I've just had a thought. Before I go off to the sewing machine, I want to do my little pockets as well, and I'm just going to put little pockets on 2 of the pages just so that we can save some time. And all we need to do again is we're going to put some washi on these sides. But I'm going to use some wet glue, I think. This is the Tombow glue. It really doesn't want to come out. So I'm doing this now because I want to catch the bottom of the pocket on the sewing machine. There you go. So that will give you these small little pockets. Now I did these as a bit of an afterthought, but they're really handy for the small piece of ephemera, labels, mini tags. But you can easily add just a sheet of paper after the event, and it's going to make no difference really. But it's just nice to put that in. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other one, and then I will join you at the sewing machine. I wanted to come over and do some recording by the sewing machine, not because I'm very good at sewing, but because I'm very bad at sewing. But I wanted to encourage those viewers who are still in the process of maybe contemplating buying a sewing machine, but are either think that they're just not good enough because they don't know how to sew, or they don't know enough, or they won't make use of it. When I purchased my sewing machine a couple of years ago, when I was new to junk journaling, I didn't know what a bobbin was. I don't think I'd used a sewing machine for about probably 40 odd years. The last time I used one was in school, and I absolutely hated my sewing classes. So if you're in two minds about buying one, I would wholly recommend it. If I can use these machines, I promise you anyone can. Okay, so I am just going to sew around these three sides here. I got a very basic sewing machine. I bought it from Hobbycraft. It's a Singer Promise. I definitely paid less than £200 for it. I think it might have been something like £189, something like that at the time. It was when they were very expensive, just after lockdown. Okay, here goes. Okay, there we go. Gone a little bit over the edge there. Not too bothered. Sorry the lighting is pretty bad here, but I haven't got spotlights and things to use. So I'm just going to fold this now and just see what it looks like. If I don't have to sew the middle, I won't, because we're all about making efficiencies here. And that looks absolutely fine to me. So I'm going to crack on, sew the rest of these pages, and then get back to my crafting. Here are the basic pages, and as I said before, it isn't fully necessary to sew. If you use good glue and you're careful with it and you use enough of it, then you can most definitely do this project without glue. And of course it'd be a lot quicker doing that as well. Leave it to set as quickly as you can. I haven't left this set quickly enough really, because obviously I want to get on with making the video and doing the fun things. But there you go, there's the basic pages. So there's a couple of things we've got left to do. We need to make a page with belly bands, and then make the cover. So for the page for the belly band, I'm just going to use one sheet. Oh, just to remind you, we've got pockets now in each page there. You could of course print if that bothers you, but honestly for the use of this and how quickly I want to make it, then I'm not bothered at all. So for the belly band pages, I've printed one of the Sounds of Summer pages on a tea-stained piece of paper, and very much like the other pages, I am going to use strips of vellum, and I'm just going to put the vellum on either side and secure it with washi tape. I couldn't think of the name. Now it's up to you how thick you want your belly band to be. If I get my can't quite see it actually. Here we go. It's buried behind me. So the belly bands here, I've done approximately that, but I think I quite fancy doing do I fancy doing thicker ones? No, things might get lost. Let's make it a bit smaller. So we'll do them, say 5 centimeters, which is about 2 inches. That makes it easy, doesn't it? That makes it easy for everyone. Okay, so I folded a sheet of vellum in half and half again, just for ease. And I'm going to measure there on my craft board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. chop that off. I'm sure I can actually use that. Where are my pages? You could always use that strip if you glue it very carefully, and you can put little things in there. So I'll keep those strips. You can always use them for something, or you can use them for stamping. Perfect for stamping. I'm just going to take a slither off this. Oh, hang on. It's a bit off, isn't it? I haven't done a very good job cutting there, have I? No, Stephanie Howells, you have not. Let's chop that end off. Vellum can be difficult to cut. I've never tried cutting vellum on a guillotine. So take that slither off. So we need 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, and again I am going to strengthen either side with washi. Now I'm sure that everyone out there watching me is screaming at how messy my washi taping is, and I'm sure you can do a much better job than me, but I'm kind of rushing because I want to make the most of the time in the video and get this video up in time to be part of the collaboration. So I'm going to glue these now, and I'll just take one side there and then I'll trim the bottom, and I think I'll use tacky glue. So if I just and please do leave this dry if you're going to sew. You could put some washi tape across there as well. That might look quite nice. I'll glue the other bits on and we'll see how we go. Right, so I'm going to glue the actual page rather than the vellum. Okay, that was way too fiddly for my liking. I couldn't get the washi tape cut properly, so that drove me a little bit nuts. So I won't do the other side. I'm quite happy with the way it looks anyway. I think it looks fine without it, but go ahead and put it on if you prefer. Of course, you could do washi all the way across. Okay. So they are my belly band pages. So what I need to do now is go to the sewing machine, and I'm going to go all around each one because I haven't got the pocket on the top. I don't have to worry about that. And the reason why I didn't do a double one is because I don't want to put extra bulk into the ephemera folder, because otherwise it's going to get difficult and too much of a gator mouth. Okay, so I'm going to sew that and then I'll be straight back and we can start the cover. Okay, here we are. Actually, I really like the kit page printed on paper as well. I think it looks really pretty. It gives it that sort of beachy vibe, doesn't it? So here are the rest of my pages, and you can see the difference. So I'm just going to pop that in there. And the only thing is you do have, oh actually I think it might be better if I do it this way, because we haven't got that notch in the top and that might annoy you. So there we are. So it's not too bulky. Could take a page out if you wanted to. The way we're going to bind it, you'll be able to remove pages as and when anyway, so you know, it's not going to be fixed. You could fix it if you wanted to, but we're not going to, so that it'll give you plenty of flexibility. So just a quick flip through. Oh, got a bit of washi tape there. There we go, got our small little pockets there. We can always add more small pockets there and there. I haven't sewn up the middle, I don't think you need it. There we go. You could always do a belly band going landscape as well, and that would be really cool actually. That's a really good idea. Could have done that. Oh, maybe for the next one. Right, let's go on to the cover. And again, we're going for simplicity. So what I've got here is a sheet of packaging paper, which I have folded in half. It's got a bit of a rip, but that doesn't matter. And I've made it to the size that it's slightly bigger than, let me just fold it properly here. Okay, so it's slightly bigger than the pages, and what I want to do is I want to fold these side bits in just to give them a little bit of extra strength. But first of all, what we need to do is glue it. Now you could leave the top open for these as well, but I want a little bit of a, I want to add a little bit of strength to this, so I'm going to glue it all up basically. So I'm just going to go around it, and what I like about the packaging paper is that it does go around and it'll sit, because what annoys me about this one is, well, I made it too small for a start, but as you can see it's just not sitting, whereas this will sit a bit better, I think anyway. Right, okay, so what we need to do now is we need to fold these back, but I don't want to fold them back too far so that the pages are sticking out. I'd rather have a little bit of room. Yeah, that fits just nicely there. So I'm going to go ahead and now then, what do I want to do? Because it's just that one there is just annoying me, because it's not, maybe because it's just not straight. I'll see if I cut it a little bit, whether it will get rid of that hang. No, it's not perfect, is it? But there you go. It's because there's two sheets of paper. That's fine. Right, what we're going to do is glue these. Okay. I haven't decided what I'm going to do in the middle, on the inside cover yet, so we'll have a think about that as we're crafting. I wouldn't mind leaving it plain, because I don't know, I just think it goes with the theme. Okay, that's fine. So you just got a tiny little bit of an overhang at the top. That gives us plenty of room. Okay. So what I've got is another one of the kit pages. So pretty, isn't it? It's just so very pretty. And I am going to put that on the cover. Now I don't think, no, it's not enough room. And what I want to do is I want to do it so that I only have to print one page. So I'm going to cut it so that it looks kind of equal going around. But do you know, I'm really not that bothered, because it's just an ephemera folder, so that looks all right actually. So I'm going to cut that. now I've got a choice of which one to put on the front. Oh, I do like that, so pretty. Yeah, I'm going to put that one on the front. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one that's going to go on the front. And I think I'll use Vintage Photo. Right, we've got to make a decision now, because I do like my fronts of pages so. So even though I'm not fussy, I do still want a border going across there, or going around there. Now obviously if you're not sewing, it doesn't matter. You could use stamps. I have actually got a set of sewing stamps here somewhere, but I don't know where they are. And what I'm also thinking is, rather than put one on the back, I could put one on the front there. And then leave the back. After all, it is just the back. What I got to think of is, am I going to have a pocket in here? Do you know, I think I might leave it so that there's no pockets in the cover, because it might get a bit bulky. What do you think? Okay, sorry about that. Let there be light. I think we've got enough light here now, I think. Change your position a little bit. Yeah, so I've decided I'm not going to put anything on the cover page. And for the simplicity of the video, I am going to put some tea stained paper on there. Okay, so I'm going to go over to my sewing machine now, and I'm going to sew just around there and just around there. Come back and have a look, and I can see there's just that edge there. It's going to have to come off. There you go. And then we will have a think about what we're going to do to the spine. Here's everything sewn. Still quite pliable, and I'm quite happy with that. Next we need to think about the spine. So I've just cut a couple of pieces of tea-dyed bed linen, and I'm going to lightly glue this over my spine on the front and the inside. Straighten that out a bit. Stretch it out. Okay, it's nice and straight, and I'll trim the bottom once I've sewn. I know I've got a little piece missing there, but I'm not bothered about that. And right, well, so while this is drying, actually, I think we'll make the band. Now, this is totally unnecessary, but I just love these bands, and they're just so handy because it gives you an extra holding space there. You could of course make this from fabric, any type of paper. I've printed another digital page on tea stain paper, and I want a gap at the top to pop things in if I want to. Now, but I want to see this part, so it's kind of upside down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in half and then sew around it. It's just the way the pattern is. I guess I could have chosen a page that would suit better, but I really like this one, so this is the page I want. So it's easily remedied. So let's just flip that over there. Put that like that. So then you've got a nice pattern on the inside and the outside of what we'll lovingly call it is a flap. And I am going to add some glue to the sides. Oops. Stick them together. If I'd thought about it, I could have put some lace or ribbon inside the one side before gluing it down, and then have it coming out either side like that. So you'd have a piece there and a piece there. But I didn't think of that. But that would be a really good option. Oh, I like it like that. Anyway, but I am just going to put. Well, the other thing you could do is you could put a button and a brad, and then tie some string around it. But the easiest thing would be to use a crocodile, like I have there. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to go back over now to the sewing machine. I'm going to sew around the edge here, and I'm going to sew around this reinforcement on the spine there. Be back in 2 ticks. Okay, so I finished sewing. So I'm going to tidy up the spine. Could always leave a little bit dangling, but I'm going to cut it off there. It'll fray anyway. So there we go. You've got a couple of options on attaching this now. You could, if you've got a sewing machine, you could sew all the way down the middle there, so it would be fixed. You can do what I've done here, which is incorporate it into 3-hole pamphlet stitch. But what I'm going to do is I am not going to attach it at all. I'm going to leave it loose. So if I want to take it off at a later date, I can. So I'm not going to do anything to this, but I am going to put my holes in with my crocodile. Bear with me. And pointing out the obvious, but if you are going to sew this into your spine, then do this bit first. It's a whole lot easier because then you can just plonk your holes in the same side. I've not measured. You don't need to measure. Let's have a look at what I've got spare here. Haven't really got anything coordinating. So I'll just pick what I've got. Pop this in. I'll find some suitable ribbon or something, or string. It'll probably be string in a jiffy. Okay, so that's really pretty. I like that. get rid of that. And of course, what you could do when you've got some time, which is what I'll do as I'm going along in the project, is I'll probably make some embellishments, maybe do a collage or something here, or add some fabric, something pretty. But for now, we're just going to leave it plain. And we're going to get these signatures sewn in. And what I did on this one, which hopefully you can see here, is I did use the crocodile to punch the holes. And that's what I'm going to do here. And I'm not going to think too much about it. I'm literally just going to chuck the holes in. So I'm going to use the smaller of the two holes, which is 1/8. Of course, if you haven't got a crocodile, you can use your awl or whatever sharp pokey tool that you've got. But I am literally just going to find a bulldog clip, screw it in place, pop the middle in first, which is about, I'm actually going to go over that. I don't want it in the pocket. Okay, it's not exactly perfect, but it'll do. And then I'm probably going to go about 1 inch and a little bit. I think what I might do is go from this end so I can see the crease better. I haven't quite got it in the middle there. So I'm going to fix that. It's not too bad. Maybe I shouldn't be rushing so much. So I'm just going to go down here. Looks about right. Okay, that looks about right. Don't be frightened, guys. It's just paper. Of course, feel free to measure if you want to measure. And let's get some thread and a needle. So we're going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Okay. And actually I don't need a needle because the holes are big enough, she says. I'm just going to go in. Let's see, will I get it in there? Oh, I'll use a needle. It'll be quicker, won't it? Thread it so your thread is on either side. I'm not going to tie it, I'm just going to loosely tie it into a bow. So I've got options. Not a perfect, so, but it is absolutely fine for what I want to use it for. And now all we need to do is pop some string in there, and what have I got here? Cut another length there. it through. Do the same on the other side. And there we've got our closure. And it does cover my messy sewing, so that's why I wasn't too bothered. And I could always just go in and sew this if I want to at a later date. Okay, so the only thing that's left to do now, apart from tidy my desk up, is to fill it with goodies. And here are my goodies. And I have tried to work with just using one of these in the past, and it's a nightmare. You never find anything. And as one of the words for the letter H is handmade, what better way than to have a handmade folder for your ephemera? So I'm going to fill it and then come back to you, and then we'll make some other fun things. And we're all done. I really do hope that you enjoyed that tutorial and you'll give these a go. So if I start off with this ephemera folder, so as you can see, it's the same style as the tutorial. I've just used Nana's Roses kit from RachandBella Crafts, and I've used brads to bind the ephemera folder. And if you want a tutorial on this, then my Porch Prints has got a fantastic tutorial, and she uses them in a variety of her journals, and it's really worth checking out. So I've done some messy sewing there. Now, as you can see on this one, I just folded this in half lengthways, and so this is upside down, but you know, I'm not really that bothered about it. And in here then I've got the cover. I've put in a belly band, and I've got some pages there that I'm going to use for further embellishments. And as you can see, I haven't quite put everything away, but I've been busy fussy cutting because this is the next kit I'm going to be using for my projects with RachandBella. So I've just got a rogue little fussy cut there, and I'm just going to pop in there, and then these can go in here. I'll just pop them in there just for now so that they don't fall out everywhere. So yes, yeah, so it's just a really simple ephemera folder, just functional, and hopefully it'll keep you organized. And then this is the one that we've made in the tutorial, and I still haven't attached that because I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with it. And at the moment it's not fully stuffed with items because I am busy making some ephemera for the collaboration. So please go and have a look at my the next video that I upload, because that will show you how I make some tags and journaling cards. So I've got a bit of work to do here, as I haven't filled it with lots and lots of ephemera, but I'm at the beginning of my design team project, so hopefully by the end of it it'll still be stuffed and I can make a couple of journals from it. So I really do hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial. I'd be very grateful if you'd give me a thumbs up and a comment if you really enjoyed the video, and consider subscribing as well. And don't forget the Be It Summer Inspired collaboration by RachandBella Crafts. I'm letter H there, and I'll be showing you what to do, some things you can do with your heat gun and some handmade items. And I hope that you will be crafting along with me. Thanks ever so much.